Hello again, everyone. This is sort of an experimental video. I got myself a new camera, Sony ZV-1. It's kind of fancy, I don't know, YouTuber camera thing. So I'm going to do this video about this DNA Designs DK-14N. The N is because it is for a modified version of this. If you guys are Transformers fans, you might be familiar with Ultra Magnus. Eesh, he's a big boy. Ultra Magnus here. The original version, this coloration, is kind of short, so I've actually already got the original DK-14 legs on him. Makes him a bit taller, as is appropriate for the character. The new version that's out, this goes along with the new Netflix show that's actually not out yet. You can see he's a bit shorter, but he's painted differently. It's battle damage and real world wear and tear, and I don't know what other things. But because he's painted differently, they actually released a repaint of the leg kit. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. As a note, I do have gap fillers to go with all the holes that are in them, but I'm going to have to paint those too myself. The ones I have are all just 3D printed. White plastic that's not even the same white as the base. So I will get around to that eventually and further upgrade this. But in the meantime, because it took a while for anybody on YouTube that I saw to put out any information on these kits. I saw one for the Optimus Prime, Galaxy Leader, Optimus Prime, whatever, which I never cared for much. Very similar installation, so I didn't lose any information on that. But there wasn't much on the Ultra Magnus version for a long time, and I just got this in. So they give you some extra bits too. I think they're to make the hips even longer. I'm not sure. I don't think those came with the previous one, so that's interesting. I guess they let you actually swap out his hip joints. It's weird. I don't remember seeing that before. Anyway, figured I'd go ahead and put this out and let people, get an idea for what the legs actually look like. So you can see they got a little bit of that gray paint on them, different places. Otherwise, they're still pretty similar. Still have the flip-down panels so that you can cover up the gaps when the legs are in long mode. Pretty sure the hammer and the axe here are really exactly the same thing. I don't think... They're not quite exactly the same thing. I take that back. They're very close. If I can remove this. So that is the one that came with the DK-14. It's unpainted white plastic. This is the one that comes with the DK-14N. It's actually got like a high gloss finish on it, and it's a much brighter white. I don't know if that's paint. I think it is, but it might just be molded in a different plastic. The hammerheads are slightly different as well. You get a little bit more silver on this, a little more gray, lighter silver on the new one, the DK-14N. So that's different, and looks like it's the same for the axe. Same extra, slightly glossier plastic on the fold-out axe. I think the axe is silly, but okay. So, just like the other, step one is to just take all the extra armor off, extra pieces. And when I paint this guy, I'm going to paint these things too. I don't like that they didn't come with the red missile. I don't know why they did that. Maybe the show will make sense of that. Looking forward to it. Supposedly 2020, but it doesn't seem to get any more information than that. I did like the gun a little better in the silver. And this is a gray plastic instead of a painted silver gun that he came with. So it's like they did a lot more paint apps on the body, and then they kind of went simpler on the equipment. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to strip him down to no armor. Just take me a second. The extra paint definitely makes things hold on a little bit more firmly on this. that's good. I mean, the old one wasn't like falling apart or anything. So, personally, I still prefer the original paint colors. I did order this before there were photos out of it. What am I doing? Just slide that up. I love Ultra Magnus. He's basically my favorite design, so I guess I'm okay with having two of them. But I definitely like the classic colors more than I like these. Rip. There we go. Oh, other change on this, if nobody's noticed. His chest is actually clear at this point. The old one, the base color one, has like a silver paint behind the blue plastic, so that it's got a little bit of depth, whereas this one, nope, hollow. Totally clear. Rip out of the plastic here. So you get two legs, and you do have to transfer the wheels over off his sides, but step one is just to rip his old legs off, and they're just on mushroom pegs, so with a little bit of wiggling, not a lot of wiggling even, they just come right off. So now he's master instead of blaster. So these take a little bit of effort, but again, not too bad. At least on the other one they weren't too bad. Might have to get my spudger. I'm going to go run grab my spudger real quick. You probably won't see it, I'll let it. Spudger required. Just pop these off. Ooh, they are a tough fit compared to the first ones. That's the one. Again, there's paint in the rim, which I'm sure is contributing to this being stuck on more. There we go. And I'm going to keep the old legs in the box just to, where did I take those off of? The right leg. Keep the old legs in the box in case I ever need them for some reason. I can't imagine what I would actually need them for, but you never know. Ooh, definitely is a tighter fit. I wonder if they changed them somehow. That one spins fine. This one doesn't want to spin now. It's like it's not snapping in all the way. That's not good. So, I don't know. I liked the first set of legs. This one's giving me more trouble. But I want him to be tall. Yeah, it snapped all the way through. That's weird. I think it's just the paint. Or the plastic. Oh well. I'm not going to keep them in truck mode particularly. I don't play with them as toy cars. I just, I'm an adult and play with Transformers toys. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, I don't care. Everybody else does. I don't know. It's a silly hobby. I have a lot of silly hobbies. I have the means to have silly hobbies, I guess. Yeah, it's definitely a tighter fit on these. Yeah, I guess these back wheels just aren't gonna rotate as freely. Because, again, on the other one, never had this issue. Man, there we go. I was gonna say, this plastic's tougher than the spudger. But again, that spins fine. Put the old legs away, and actually, just for visual comparison. It's not identical. Paint's a little different. You can see that. But it's not far off. It's not bad. There's a little bit more brown here versus kind of all the black, but works. So the way these function is the back panel pops open, and it's got a kind of classic double hinge, folds down. That way you can still put them together in truck mode, and you can get the normal height in his sort of white Optimus Prime. This wheel section flips around to let you pin it all in place. There's a little tab. You can kind of lock it all together, and you can get two different lengths. I believe that's supposed to be flipped down. I've seen people say the opposite, that the knee's supposed to be like that. I don't know why that would be. Looks funny to me. But I guess it's like the knee pad versus the shin. I think this works. And I don't know why this would flip out of the way otherwise. So anyway, to shorten them again, you pop the wheel, open it, squeeze it down, close it up. Kind of got to mess with the screw up at the top until it straightens out. But to install them, real simple. You just take them, you slide them back on where the old legs were, and with the old one, this took some effort to get them back in place. Otherwise, they sit too far out and they don't move right. So they do have an extra pin up here, which means they don't go all the way out to the side anymore. If that's something you need, then these aren't going to work for you, I guess. I, again, can't really picture, a situation where I'd want to pose Optimus Prime doing, or not Optimus Prime, Ultra Magnus doing a split, but I don't know. People got different reasons for doing different things. A lot of people probably can't picture why you'd, do any of this. So, not quite in place. There we go, that's better. Still not quite. So you can have them in a sort of standard mode. You can extend the legs, you put the armor back on. But the whole point is when you put the armor on with the extended legs, he's got a little bit more stature finally. So just re-extend. Put these up out of the way. And again, you can leave the knee that way, but that looks a lot better to me. And that's tall, and he does still have the flip out, I never think about it, he does still have the flip out heel spurs if you're going to keep him in this mode, but you can make him a taller, white Optimus Prime, in this case white and dirty Optimus Prime if you want to. But the whole point, again, Ultra Magnus is not Optimus Prime. Now, anybody who's not a Transformer fan might not be aware that basically Ultra Magnus was originally a recolored Optimus Prime with a bunch of plastic armor that clipped on that didn't do anything. He's kind of just a big lump of plastic with all that put together. But I still like him. I never had an original Ultra Magnus. I might, look into buying one someday, but I doubt it. I'm not really that big into the classic toys. I have some, but I kind of like the Masterpiece and the modern stuff more. Just fits my aesthetic better. When Toys R Us was going out of business, I went and I looked at, thinking, hey, I can finally buy those cool Transformers, and they were already cleaned out. Other people had gotten there, or they'd shipped them out or something, I don't know which. But there were no cool Transformers, and I thought for a while that there were no cool Transformers anymore, that they just weren't making them the way I kind of pictured them in my head as a kid, because, geez, back in the 80s we were all, able to use our imagination and be impressed by the stuff we had for toys. And now it's like, no, the toys are actually cool. Back then they were lumps of plastic that didn't do anything, and we still thought they were cool. So, again, all this extra paint does seem to make it tougher to fit the pieces together. There we go. And I got gap fillers for these legs. Like I say, I'm going to have to paint them because they came in just an unpainted white plastic, which won't go well with the gray here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually give them a white base coat, because I think the intent of this is supposed to be that you've got the white paint and then this gray, but they molded it in gray plastic and only put white on it. Like the gray is, you know, metal, either bare metal or dirt. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a base coat in a white, and then I'm going to apply like a dirt outer coloration to it to get it back to that gray. And I think that'll come out okay. I'm going to test it on a couple of the extra pieces that I have that I don't need to keep, just to make sure I get a look that I like. But then he'll be, you know, sort of full custom, I think, neat guy. So, other side. So, bring you close to the camera. That is Ultra Magnus, the Netflix edition. I assume that's what the N is on the DK-14N. That's what he looks like with his extra legs on. And you can compare him, slide him over a bit, to his original coloration with the same legs. You can see we got some height, and it's a little more Ultra Magnus. And just for comparison with what a Optimus looks like, to me, that scales much better. Let me back him up a little bit. It's a little tough to spot, but yeah. Optimus is a big guy, but Ultra Magnus is a big guy. So, you know, thanks for watching, and enjoy this experiment, I guess.